We begin tonight with controversy over the detention of a 20-year-old young man named Dylan. He's from Venezuela, here legally, asking for asylum and working for his family and going to high school in Brooklyn. Supporters say he was tricked into giving up his rights.
Since he was detained last week, Dylan has been sent to 4 other states by immigration officers under the Trump administration. Last night, protests outside a federal courthouse over his custody, and it led to several arrests. And then late this afternoon, a protest outside the Board of Education in Lower Manhattan.
Eyewitness News reporter Josh Einiger, live at the scene, is there with the breaking news tonight. Josh.
Yeah, Bill, Liz, this certainly has created a chilling effect for the scores of asylum seekers right now being educated by New York City schools. We're at the Tweed Courthouse, the headquarters for the Department of Education. Demonstration ongoing right now. But of course, as you point out, the Education Department had nothing to do with this particular situation. This student went according to the rules to an immigration hearing, and then the rules apparently changed.
Stand up, fight back! What do we do? Stand up, fight back!
The outrage reached the steps of the city's education department this afternoon after a city high school student found himself caught in the switches of an ever-changing and baffling immigration policy. An asylum seeker known only as Dylan picked up by federal agents last week when he showed up at a previously scheduled check-in at a Manhattan immigration court.
Dylan has been tricked, trapped, and kidnapped because he was doing everything the right way.
Immigration advocate Power Malu has been in touch with Dylan's mother, who's now in hiding. In little more than a week, ICE has shuttled Dylan around to 3 different states across the country, as far away as Texas. He's now locked up in Pennsylvania.
He came here legally. We need to make that clear. He came in through port of entry, asylum seeker, and has gotten his work authorization, Social Security, everything that he needs to do to be compliant and make sure that he is on the path to immigration status. He's been doing. He's been going to his court hearings, and that's exactly what he did in this situation.
Roadway, you will be placed under arrest.
Last night, protesters descended on an ICE facility in Soho after a number of immigrants were detained the way Dylan was. The Trump administration no longer talking about picking up the worst of the worst criminals. Now they vow all bets are off.
We're all over the country, in every neighborhood, in every city, and you're going to see an expansion of that. You can call it a sanctuary jurisdiction all you want. It's a bunch of crap, and we all know it.
But officials haven't explained the legal rationale for apparently canceling asylum processes. People who in many cases have not been arrested and are following the rules ICE laid out. Congressman Dan Goldman released this video of masked ICE agents detaining immigrants as they showed up for court.
It is simply an effort by the Trump administration to remove as many foreigners as possible from this country so that they can return to the 1950s under this great replacement theory and go back to a world of white supremacism that does not include immigrants trying to come to this country to seek a better life.
You heard the White House borders are there talking about an escalation of ICE enforcement from coast to coast, but we have not heard from federal officials about the case of Dylan, this 20-year-old from Venezuela. What will happen to him? Will he be deported back to his native Venezuela? It's also not clear if his detention reflects a change in policy or perhaps just a mistake. We're live in Lower Manhattan. Josh Einiger, Channel 7, Eyewitness News.